Hi everyone. Now I want to discuss with you all admission of a partner formats. If you know admission of a partner formats, then only students can do the problems under admission of a partner. This is very important problem from the examination point of view for intermediate second years. You are going to get it for 20 marks, and it is very important for BCom students also. They have this admission of a partner in one semester. And next, this is useful for CA students also. They have admission of a partnership problems. So here I want to discuss with you all the formats related to admission of a partner. First of all, you should know what is admission of a partner. Admission of a partner means already one partnership business is there, and in that, for example, two partners are there, A and B. And next, other person C wants to join in that partnership business. C is going to be admitted in the partnership business. So C is called new partner, and whenever C is going to be admitted in the partnership business, we have to call it as admission of a partner. Okay. So at that moment, what accounts the business is going to prepare, we are going to learn all that. Here, whenever the admission of a partner takes place, business is going to prepare some accounts. What accounts? First one is revaluation account. So first one is revaluation account. Okay, and next one is general reserve account. Okay, and next, new partners capital account. New partner capital account. Third one. Next, old partner capital account. And fifth one is cash account. Sixth one is goodwill account. Last one is balance sheet. These are total 7 we are going to prepare in case of admission of a partner. And we are going to learn all the formats related to all these. You should, in case if you get any problem under admission of a partner, you have to know all the formats, then only you can do solution for that particular question. Let us discuss all the formats now. First one is revaluation account. Okay, let us discuss that format first. So this is a revaluation account, students. In case of revaluation account, we have to draw columns, particulars amount, particulars amount. And here on the debit side, we have to write few items. On the credit side, we should write few items. Okay. So what we are going to write on the debit side as well as on the credit side. Let us see that. So this is debit side, students. On the top we should write debit. DR means debit. Okay, and credit we should write on the right hand side, this side. So we should write CR. Okay, debit and credit. And debit side few items we are going to write, and credit side also few items we are going to write. What we are going to write in revaluation account, that is very important. Okay, so in revaluation account, debit side, first you have to remember one item, students. First, if you remember one item, you are going to remember few items in revaluation account. So here, whenever new partner is going to be admitted in the organization, in the partnership business, they value the assets, and sometimes some assets value may increase, some assets value may decrease. Okay, they value liabilities also. Sometimes the liabilities value may increase, sometimes some liabilities value may decrease. Here we are going to show all that now. So remember one point, that is, if asset increases, we will write in revaluation account credit side. Revaluation means we are valuing it again. What we are valuing? Assets and liabilities. So we write on the credit side. What we write? If any asset is increasing, we are going to write on credit side. Okay, by assets, in brackets I am mentioning increase. If asset is increasing, we are going to write on credit side. In amount column we write XXX. Okay, so if any asset is increasing, we are going to write on credit side. Remember that point, we are going to write on credit side. And so if any asset is decreasing, we will write on debit side. Okay, so two assets In brackets I am mentioning it clearly. It is what? It is decrease. Okay, if asset is decreasing, we will write on debit side. Remember first thing that asset increases, write on the credit side. If asset decreases, write on the debit side. And now coming to liabilities. Asset and liability both are different items. If asset increase, we write on credit side. Liability increase, we should record on debit side. Okay, so two liabilities. Okay, liability, it is what? Increase. Liability increase, we are going to write on debit side. Amount in the amount column. And liability increase, if we write on debit side, liability decrease, we write on credit side. So it is decrease. Liability decrease, we write on credit side. Hope it is clear for everyone. Okay, if you remember asset increase, that we are going to write on credit side, then automatically this remaining three items also you will get it easily. Okay, now coming to provision for doubtful debts, we can call it as in short form PDD. So PDD always we write on debit side if it is created. Okay, to PDD. PDD means provision for bad debts. So if it is created, we should record on debit side. Okay, create or provide, both are same students. In any question, if they are giving that create PDD or provide PDD, we should record on debit side. Okay, and we should calculate and we should record the value of the amount on the debit side. PDD increase also we should write on debit side only. To PDD, and it is what? It is increase. Okay, PDD increase. If PDD is increasing, that also we are going to write on debit side. Okay, amount in the amount column. PDD creation, PDD increase on the debit side, PDD decrease on the credit side. PDD decrease. PDD decrease on credit side. Okay, remember all this, amount in the amount column. Next, if any unrecorded assets are there, unrecorded assets means already some assets are there, they forgot to write in the previous balance sheet. Now we have to write it whenever new partner is going to be admitted. If you find those unrecorded assets, we should write on credit side only always. By unrecorded assets, amount in the amount column, whatever they give in the question, that will be recorded. If unrecorded assets on the credit side, unrecorded liabilities we will show on the debit side. Okay, so to unrecorded liabilities. Okay, so amount in the amount column. So these are the items that you should remember whenever you are going to prepare revaluation account. Okay, you should see the question whatever are there, and we should apply this format and we should record in the proper side. Hope this is clear. And here if we have to balance it, suppose credit side total, if you do credit side total, for example you are getting 20,000 and debit side you are getting only 15,000. So amount is more on credit side, 20,000. Both the sides you should write more amount in total, students. So we have to write 20,000, 20,000 both the sides. Okay, more amount. Debit side we are getting 15,000. I am taking for example. Okay, so credit side 20,000, which is more? 20,000. So both the sides in totals we should write 20,000, 20,000. And which side amount is less? Debit side. Come to debit side and you should deduct that 20,000 minus debit side total is 15,000. How much you will get? 5,000. You should record 5,000 on the debit side. Okay, and this is profit, actually revaluation profit, and profit or loss always we should transfer to old partners capital account. Okay, so old partners capital account. Okay, so in brackets we should mention that it is what? It is profit, revaluation profit, and we should distribute to old partners. We take example as A and B as old partners, so we have to distribute that 5,000 to A as well as to B. Okay, so we should distribute inside, students. For A some amount and for B some amount. So how much is it equal? No, always it is not equal. They will give in the question, students, how to distribute that. Okay, accordingly we have to distribute. They will give ratio. We should distribute this 5,000 rupees here for these two persons. We should calculate inside and we should put inside only. Okay, hope that is clear. And sometimes amount will be more on debit side, less on credit side. Suppose debit side total is 30,000, credit side total is only 20,000. Then what we will get? We will get more on debit side, less on credit side. Then you should write both the sides totals 30,000, 30,000. Okay, and less is on credit side. You should move to credit side. From 30,000 you have to deduct this 20,000. You will get 10,000. You should write on the credit side. You should write on credit side, and you should name it as again by old partners capital account, and this is what? This is loss. Okay, loss. Credit side if you get, that is loss, revaluation loss. So you should write it as loss in brackets, and even it is profit or loss, we should distribute to two persons, two partners compulsorily. So who are those two? A and B. You can write this anywhere. I will write down because that space is not good. I will write down. You can write up or down. I will write here because place will be sufficient. By old partners capital account in brackets loss. Okay, and we should distribute to old partners. I already told that old partners, we assumed it as A and B, so we should write that. For A some amount we should distribute, and for B we should distribute some amount. Okay, so in this way we are going to do revaluation account. So this is the answer. I will change the color of these all so that you will have a clear idea regarding this. Okay, these are answers, and here for A and B we are distributing. Okay, so this is how we prepare revaluation account. Hope this is clear for everyone. Before doing solution, you have to know the format, then only you can do the solution easily. First account format finished. Let us go to second account. Second account is general reserve account. Student, it is very important, okay, because if you sometimes we don't prepare general reserve account, sometimes we prepare general reserve account. When to prepare, when not to prepare. If you have to see the question balance sheet, they give balance sheet in the question, so you have to see that in the question, in balance sheet on liability side, if you find any reserve, it may be general reserve or any reserve, then what you have to do? You have to prepare general reserve account. If there is no reserve, okay, you don't have reserve or reserve fund, okay, if general reserve is not appearing in the question in balance sheet on liability side, don't prepare that. If you have, then prepare this. Okay, so you have to draw columns like this: particulars amount, particulars amount, on the top general reserve account. This is a format that we are going to discuss. Always in general reserve account we are going to write on credit side, students. Okay, credit side, whenever we start, you should mention with the word by. So we are going to write first on credit side only, because general reserve appears in the balance sheet on credit side. Okay, in the balance sheet on liability side. Whenever we are bringing any item from the balance sheet first to the account, we should see which side it is appearing. If any item is appearing on liability side, that balance we should record on credit side. If any item we are taking from asset side, whenever we prepare that account, we should record that balance on the debit side. General reserve always appears in the balance sheet on liability side, so we should bring it and we should record here on the credit side first. Okay, why we should record? Because new person is going to be admitted, and whatever reserve that old partners earned, they want to distribute among themselves. So we should prepare this account, and that reserve we should take here and we should record on credit side, because that is appearing on liability side, and that should be distributed to old partners. That is what we have to do now. Okay, so by what we should write? Whenever we bring from the balance sheet, we should write by balance brought down. Balance brought down. Why we are writing on the credit side? Because general reserve appears on liability side, and that should be distributed on debit side, students. To whom? To the old partners. To old partners capital account. Same amount, credit side whatever we are writing, that should be recorded on the debit side. Okay, so we should write, we should distribute to old persons. Who are old persons here? Old partners here, A and B. We took the names as A and B, so you too should write A and B. Okay, so A, and we should distribute for B also. Okay, so what amount, whatever we record here in the amount column, that should be distributed to A and B. In what ratio? Is it equal? Whatever ratio they mention in the question, we should distribute in that way. And both the sides totals also will be same, students. Okay, so totals will be same. I think it is clear for everyone. So this is how we prepare general reserve account. Hope this is clear. Next account is new partners capital account. So new partner is going to be admitted, and whenever new partner is going to join in the business, compulsorily has to bring capital into the business. Whenever he brings capital, we should record here. On which side we should record here? First on the credit side, students. Okay, by cash account. And how much capital he brings, that should be recorded here. Okay, by cash, whatever capital he brings, that should be recorded here. Hope this is clear for everyone. We should record capital, how much he is bringing, first on the credit side. Okay, and next debit side, we should only one item is going to appear, students. We should balance the account. So credit side it is more, so we should record in totals both the sides credit side value only. Okay, and debit side we get balance, because it is less, I will write debit side same amount. Suppose credit side 20,000, totals also 20,000, 20,000, debit side we record 20,000, and what we should write? To balance brought down, because we are balancing and writing, that's all. Okay, so this is how we are going to do new partners capital account. Okay, this is a format of new partners capital account. Hope this is clear for everyone, students. Okay, so you have to understand the format first, then only you can do the solution. So if you don't understand the format, that is very difficult to do the solution. Okay, so let us go to next format. Now I want to discuss with you format of old partners capital account. So here I have taken example of old partners, that is A and B. So here we have to draw columns like this. Particulars, two partners names, old partners names, so A and B, and next particulars A and B. So this is how we have to draw columns, and next what we have to write here. So that is very, very important, what we have to write and how we are going to write. Okay, so all this is very, very important. So how we are going to write and what we are going to write. First we should record here in the format. Okay, what we have to write is, that is credit side by balance brought down, because already these partners have some capital in the business, that will be appearing in the question. So that should be taken here, and we should write on the credit side as by balance brought down. So where we can see this amount, in the question they give balance sheet. On liability side these two partners capital appears, that we should take and we should record here by balance brought down. We should write on the credit side. You may get it out why we should write on the credit side, because whenever we bring any item from liability side we should record on credit side only whenever we prepare that account. Okay, so that is why we recorded on credit side. And amounts we should write for x whatever capital we have that should be recorded, for y whatever we have that we will record. And next, if any here in first account we get revaluation loss or profit. Okay, so if we get profit we should write here in this account on credit side by revaluation account. Revaluation account. Revaluation account. Okay, so what is that? Is it profit or loss? It is profit. Revaluation account profit. So we should record here as a profit. Hope this is clear for everyone. Here we should write it as profit. Okay, you can mention in brackets it is profit. And whatever amount we distributed there in the revaluation account for these two partners we should write here. And sometimes we may get loss also in revaluation, so here where we should write debit side to revaluation account, and we should write in brackets loss, because if we get loss then only we will record here. Okay, so revaluation account loss. In brackets we should mention it as loss. Okay, so amount, whatever amount we distributed there in revaluation account that we should record here. And next we should move to credit side. Next item is general reserve. Suppose if you have general reserve and we prepare general reserve account, this account, here whatever amount we distributed for the partners that should be recorded here on credit side by general reserve account. By general reserve account. Okay, we should write by general reserve account. And whatever amount we distributed there that should be recorded here. And here I am writing XXX, but whatever we distribute there in general reserve we should write here. Okay, next, in every question we may have goodwill. If we have goodwill we should distribute to old partners, so here we should write it by goodwill account. Okay, we should distribute for this persons to partners and we should record here. And sometimes we may have P&L account in balance sheet. So if any profit and loss is appearing in the balance sheet, we should distribute to the old partners in this account. And sometimes P&L account appears on liability side, sometimes on asset side. So if any P&L appears on liability side, you record here on credit side, students, because that is profit. We have to distribute to old partners here. Okay, so by P&L account. Okay, so when we will write if it is appearing on liabilities side. So we should record here. If it is appearing on liability side we should record it here. Okay, And next, we should distribute to two partners. Whenever it appears on liability side, it is nothing but profit. Sometimes it appears on asset side also, P&L account. If you have any P&L on asset side, we should write here on debit side, students, and we should distribute to old partners. And that is what? That is loss actually. That is why it appears on asset side. Okay, so we have to distribute it. And how to distribute here? See, according to their sharing ratio. When we will write here, if it is appearing on assets side. Okay, if it is not there, then don't write here. If it is there in the question, you should compulsorily record here. So these are the items that we record every time, and you have to remember all these items, okay, that we record in all partners capital account. Then we have to total it. Okay, so we have to total it, and whenever we total, always it will be more on credit side only for both the partners, and we should record more amount both the sides, and less amount always will be on debit side. You should come to debit side, and you should record here to balance carry down, to balance carried down. So how we will get this? From this total, you deduct the above values, then you will get balance carried down. And next, here also same thing. From this B total, you deduct these two values, and then you will get B balance carried down. Okay, these are the capitals after adjusting all these items of old partners. So this I'm just I'm putting here, and I'm using this other color, that is red color. Okay, and totals, these four are totals of all two partners. Okay, so this is how we prepare old partners capital account. Hope this is clear for everyone. Okay, I just change the color of this box so that it will be good for everyone. These are totals. Okay, so this is how we prepare old partners capital account. Let us go to next account, that is cash account. So cash account, whenever we prepare, first what we should do, we should take the cash balance of our balance sheet. Some cash or cash in hand or cash at bank appears in the balance sheet. We should take that first in this account. And which side we should take? Always cash is what? That is asset. So we should record that balance always on debit side whenever we are bringing to this account. Okay, so here we are going to write all this now. Okay, so first debit side, to balance brought down. So we record that amount whatever is appearing in the balance sheet in the place of cash in hand. If cash in hand is not available in the balance sheet, you can take cash at bank here in the place of to balance brought down. Okay, so I am taking XXX here. And next, how cash comes in case of admission, and that should be checked. And if cash comes into the business, we should record on debit side. So new partner brings cash in the actually why he brings capital he brings in the form of cash. So we should write on the debit side that one also, to new partners capital account, new partners capital account. How much capital he brings, that should be recorded here. Okay, and sometimes a new partner also brings goodwill, so we should write goodwill also, goodwill account when we will write here, whenever new partner brings. Okay, when new partner brings goodwill, then only we write here. Okay, in cash. then we write here, otherwise we don't write here. When new partner brings goodwill in the form of cash, okay, how much he brings, that we will write. That's all. These are the three items that we are going to record in cash account on the debit side, okay. So here after that we should total. Always total will be more on debit side only, because items are more on debit side, and then we get balance carry down. First we will write totals. Wherever the amount is more, that we will write both the sides, okay. Debit side only it will be more. So suppose debit side it is 50,000, we record both the sides in totals 50,000 50,000, and credit side we record by balance carry down. Here we write 50,000 only, okay. So here I am just writing XXX, but always we will get balance carry down amount on the credit side only, because always debit side that will be more students, okay. So this is how we prepare cash account. Hope everyone understood this. Okay, so let us go to next account, that is goodwill account. Goodwill account also is very simple account, where we are going to write very less number of items, okay. So what items we are going to write? First we are going to write on credit side. Whenever goodwill is brought by new partner, we are going to write on credit side, okay. What we write? By cash account. This we will write only if goodwill is brought by new partner, okay. When new partner brings goodwill in cash, okay, that time we write here. If new partner brings goodwill in the form of cash, we will write this, okay. So how much amount, whatever he brings, that we are going to write it. Hope this is clear for everyone. Next, that goodwill we are going to distribute to old partners. How we are going to distribute? We are going to distribute on the debit side according to their ratio. Ratio will be given. So we should write to old partners capital account, okay. So old partners will be more, but here we have taken example of A and B. So for A we are going to distribute some amount, and for B we are going to distribute some amount, okay. That we should record here. And credit side, whatever amount we record, that we should record on debit side also. Now totals also same. Credit side if we write 50,000, debit side also we write 50,000, that we will distribute inside for A and B, and totals also 50,000 50,000. Hope this is clear for everyone how to prepare this account, okay. And now, so this is how we prepare. After this, balance sheet should be prepared, but balance sheet we prepare only with the help of the question balance sheet, okay. So here if you have to remember all these 6 accounts whatever we prepared, so that it will be useful for you for doing solution. Balance sheet directly we can prepare while doing solution. So in the next class I will explain one question and its solution in case of admission of a partner. Watch it, and maybe you can understand the solutions also. First you go through the formats. I will show the formats one by one, so that you can see that. Here first we have to prepare in total 7 for admission of a partner. This is 20 marks problem for second year CEC and MEC students, and it is a 12 marks problem in BCom in one semester, and it is useful for CA students also. They have one chapter partnership, and here we have to prepare in total 7 accounts: revaluation account, general reserve account, new partner capital account, old partners capital account, and cash account, goodwill account, new balance sheet. So all first 6 pro formas I have given now, and I explained all those. So this is a revaluation account format. Okay, and next this is a general reserve account format. Next, this is new partner capital account format. This is old partners capital account format, and this one is cash account format. This is goodwill account format. These are all accounts formats. Okay, so hope this is clear for everyone. If you understand this format of admission of a partner, like the video, share the video, subscribe the channel. Thank you.